Welcome everybody. Welcome to the weekly real estate talk show here with Raul Luna. And I want to obviously congratulate you to, because you're, making it a habit, because you made a decision that if you really want to get acquainted, if you really want to make real estate investing your language, your passion, your career, well, let me tell you, you got to submerge yourself. You got to basically be in it most of the time, not only mentally but emotionally. You got to be physically there as well. So congratulations, because I know that at this time, 12 noon every Wednesday, we get to connect, we get to have these conversations. And I know that for some of you guys, maybe you guys got some work, or you have a full-time job and you made a decision that you're going to give up your lunch hour to connect with me, and I'm going to be as efficient as we can. I'm going to deliver, some content and great information. If questions come up, feel free to just make them. I'm going to dive into it fast. So I want to obviously congratulate you for that, because you could have been doing whatever else, whatever, you could be doing something different, and you made a decision that you're going to invest it into yourself. So there was a colleague here in the office that we actually, that he actually leases an office from us. And he says, hey, when imagine doing what you love. And I said, listen, you don't need to imagine when you're doing already what when you're doing the thing that you love, right? You can only imagine when you're not doing what you love. So anyways, hopefully I didn't get anybody confused there. Now, we're going to be covering today the rules seasoned real estate investors use when buying properties, and I'm going to add for flipping or for flip, okay? Because I know that we selected that specifically, and it's from my perspective, from my own perspective. But before we get started, for the new ones, because I know that there's, some people know me, other people don't know me. I just want you to know this. If a farm boy from a farm town is being able to invest in real estate in the San Francisco Peninsula, in the Silicon Valley area, that means that anyone that develops their mind, develops their inner security levels, their inner confidence, is able to do it. People tell me all the time that they don't do it because they need money. Because they don't have money. They don't got credit, because they don't got a job, because of many excuses. And I can tell you this thing: success will never go to the people that has excuses. Success loves people that has the mentality of finding solutions, of coming with solutions and doing something about it, all right? So just keep that in mind. And the reason why I say a farm boy is because even though I was born in San Francisco and raised in Mexico, let me tell you straight out, in Mexico, we did a lot of farming with a family, okay? We had the opportunity to, grow in an environment that hard work was the thing. And that was the only thing basically that I was able to see. So I'm very grateful for that. Then later I came back to America when I was 8.5 years old. And I saw hard work from the family, working, at a very high physical working jobs, like they would recycle bottles. They will be in the food industry as chefs, as salad makers, dishwashers, etc. And I was following their footprints. Today I'm in a farm town, Modesto. This is my hometown so far. So I did farming. So if I'm in a farm town doing farming, I'm farming, but very differently. In Mexico, we used to farm, for vegetables. We used to farm for food. We used to farm for, for crops that later we would sell. Today, we farm to basically find deals. We farm to, basically be able to get properties that are going to make, some really great profits out there. Okay. So anyways, we're going to get covered. And then after that, I've done a lot of physical work. It came to a point where, we got to start using the mind. It's okay to use the body, but you got to be using the mind in a bigger proportion than you do your body. If you do that, if you understand that if you develop your mindset, then the activity, the action is going to be much more efficient. Okay, so anyways, let's jump into the rules that seasoned real estate investors use when buying properties for flipping. Are you guys ready? If you guys are ready, give me a 1. Tell me that you guys are ready here. Perfect, excellent. Mr. Manuel, welcome. Okay, yes, I'm gonna be talking to you, Mr. Manuel, after. You know, I did receive your message, but I will talk to you after, you know, later on today, right? Anyways, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna read out the rules first so that you can write them down, and then we're gonna go one by one. Rule number 1, okay? Rule number 1 of real estate seasoned investors use in buying properties. Number 1, they establish and sell, you know, they establish what I call a sell fast ARV. And ARV stands for after repair value, okay? Rule number 2, establishes a reasonable renovation budget. Rule number 3, knows the market really well. You know, they become really knowledgeable about the market. That's rule number 3. Rule number 4, builds strong teams. Rule number 5, don't chase the deals, let the deals chase you. And rule number 6, the 10% rule, you know, after 100% leverage. So that's the rule that's the 6 rules. There's more rules. We're not going to cover it in the 35 minutes that I have on this real estate talk show, but 6 are enough for this conversation that we're going to be having here today. So rule number 1, establishes a sell fast ARV. Let me share this. You know, I've been in real estate for 19 years. Now, in 19 years, I've been up and down. I've made a lot of money. I've lost it all. I know what it's like to be bankrupt. I went bankrupt in 2009, and I'm grateful that I went through that experience because it makes me a better person, a sharper person, you know, a humble person, a person that cares, a person that you know, it's more present. Anyways, you know, one of the things that I notice of newbies, especially new people, and even people that has been in real estate for a long time, you know, just because you've been in real estate for 10 years doesn't give you 10 years of experience. Just because you've been reading book after book after book doesn't mean that you're gaining experience. If, by the way, you're getting you're having the same results that you had 10 years ago, then they're not 10 years of experience. Don't confuse it. 10 years of experience with 1 year repeated 10 times. What you have is 1 year repeated 10 times. 10 years of experience to me means growth. When someone says I got 10 years of experience, the way I want to think about is I hope it is 10 years of growth, consistent growth every year. If you don't have 10 years or 5 years or 3 years or whatever, however many years, then you can call it experience. You should call it, hey, I repeated 1 year 10 times. That's really what it is, all right? So let's get that out of the way. In my case, it's been 19 years. Out of those 19 years, I can tell you that the first 7 years were really experienced. And then I lost it all. After I lost it all, you know, I was gaining experience, but the experience was going the opposite direction. Today, I can tell you that it's been another 7 to 8, 9 years of experience, you know, but on a very different format. You know, and every year just gets better. Now, why am I sharing this? Because one of the things that I, you know, learn, and a pattern that I see with new people that are coming into the real estate field, and even seasoned people, even some of them with years of repetition, that when they do an ARV stands for after repair value, they usually like to find the highest selling property in the market, and that's what they use as an ARV. And see, that's okay when the market is going up. But when the market is coming down or it's, you know, on a soft market, getting the highest properties that sold on the market is probably not a wise thing to do. I can tell you straight flat out. It will not be the wisest thing to do. Now, right now, in the market cycle that we're in, based in my own opinion, there are a lot of areas that are softening. That we're noticing the softness now. Now, there's other areas that are still burning hot, burning hot. Now, once again, when it's burning hot, you know, I still want to use an ARV that is going to sell fast, that my properties are going to sell fast. So what I do is I don't grab the highest ARV properties, and certainly I will not grab the lowest one, you know, the lowest comparables or the highest comparables. What I would do is I would go somewhere in the middle, and I will study certain things. I will do, like, for instance, I will grab the 3 top comparables, okay? But the 3 top comparables that are fully renovated, okay, that are fully renovated. On a soft market, I'm gonna discount it a bit, depending on the market. If it's an ultra, like Bay Area, for example, Peninsula, Silicon Valley, if you're paying close attention, because the price points are so high, usually I will grab the top 3 comparables that are fully renovated, okay? So number 1, so under selling fast, this is what I look into. Number 1, grab the top three fully renovated properties. Number 2, I would compare it with no more than 20% plus or 20% less than of the square footage, of the subject square footage. Example, if the property measures, your subject that you're trying to buy, 1,000 square foot, then 20% plus or 20% minus of that. Your comparables should not be greater than 20% plus or 20% less than your subject. That's second thing that I do. The third thing is, in a softening market, like in the market that I consider we are in, okay, I do 90 days worth of comparables. You can go up to 6 months. I only do 90 days. In the 90 days, I give it the biggest weight. Why? Because once again, I think we're in a changing market where we don't know which direction is going to go. It could go up, it could go down, or it could just stay steady, or it could go like roller coaster. I think we're going to have a little bit of a roller coaster before the market decides to go down or upwards. We don't know. So I don't have a crystal ball. Because I don't have a crystal ball, because I don't want to go through another bankruptcy, Chapter 7, and certainly you want to position yourself where you don't have to see those dark days, then my advice is make sure that you establish a sell fast ARV. What is that criteria for me? Well, a property should usually sell within 30 days. It depends where the market cycle is. I'll give you an example. I've done deals like in the Carmel area, which is a secondary market. The average days that a property will take to sell is 6 months to 9 months. That's not a market that I'm interested in. Not anymore. I did one deal, I lost on that deal, and I don't want to get into that market anymore. All right? Now, to me, I sell fast is 30 days or less. 30 days or less, then that's a sell fast based on my criteria. Okay? Now, it's important. How is it that I establish? And ladies and gentlemen, is this helpful? Let me know if this is helpful, because you know, you don't want a lot of the newbies. I just noticed that they want to grab the property that sold for the highest, and then they'll use that one, even if that means he sold 6 months ago or a year ago, and that's scary. All right, excellent. Okay, Stephanie, awesome. Give you an example. I get a lot of deals via email, via text, and I just got a ton of them. Like yesterday, I got probably 15, 20 deals. Imagine trying to evaluate 15 to 20 deals. Like, I don't got hands to do all 20, right? And it was interesting because one of these deals, it was a very tiny baby little house that they were using comparables for last year's, almost 9 months ago, a comparable on a house that sold very dramatically high. And I told him, listen, that's not going to happen. I mean, we need to select an ARV that is a sell fast ARV. And I'm giving you, obviously, the rules that I'm giving you is from seasoned investor. I consider myself a seasoned investor after building an empire of 25 million, losing it all and building it back up, not at 25, but we're probably well over now, easily well over 35 million. Then I think I can consider myself as a seasoned investor. You want to sell your property fast. If you don't, your carrying cost, your operational cost is going to start eating your profits really, really, really fast. Now, you don't have to listen to what I say, but when you're losing, you'll remember to the words that I'm sharing right now. Hopefully, you don't have to see that. So anyways, 30 days or less, that's where you want to be, okay? Now, how is it that you want to establish those ARVs, the value? I mentioned it to you. We're going to recap it. You want to make sure that it's a property, the top 3 properties that are fully renovated, all right? And then discount it, maybe 5%, okay? 5%, no more than 10%, but 5% is reasonable right now where the market is softening. Discount it, at least 5%, okay? Of whatever the top. And that should give you the edge of being able to sell it fast, okay? Or grab the top 3 middle comparables, the top 3 middle comparables that you want. All right, I am back. Let me know. My computer froze, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies here. If you're there, I see that we got a ton of people connected. Thank you so much, Ms. Laurie, for letting me know. Anyways, let's continue. Thank you, Ms. Stephanie. Thank you, Ms. Don. Thank you, everybody. Hey, thank you for being patient there. My computer completely froze, but let's continue. So, how do you arrive at a sell fast ARV? Well, keep that in mind, and we're going to recap here. Number 1, get the top 3 medium comparables. Either you get the top 3 high renovated comparables and take a 5% deduction cut of it, or take the top 3 medium comparables. That's going to give you and position you for a sell fast, obviously, property. Number 2, obviously, you want to make sure that no more than 20% plus or minus on the comparables that you're using cannot be more than 20% of the square footage or less 20% of the square footage of your subject property. At least, preferably 90 days or sooner on the comparables, okay? 90 days or sooner. And if you do those 3 things, there's more to it, but in a simplistic way, that's going to give you, obviously, the better, the sell fast. And I'll give you an example if you want. Let me see if I can share my screen here. I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to go to a website that you guys all know, Redfin, and I'm going to put a property address here that, give me a second. Which one should I put? Okay, Gambles. This is, a property. And if you notice, look what it says. It says 3 bedrooms here, 2.5 bath, 1627, and then the year built. Obviously, you're gonna want to compare a lot of many other things, location, you know, character, many other things. But when you stick to those 3 things, you're gonna realize really fast. So I'm gonna come to the comparables here and see really fast. There's one that sold for 585, sold May 29th, literally. And it's interesting because if you could see this one, 585, and let's see the pictures if it's renovated or not. And it's, you know what, it's funny because it's not letting me go in. Maybe because I need to log in. Do I need to log in? Okay, I thought I was logged in. Anyways, it doesn't, I don't know why it's not giving me it's funny, but it doesn't seem renovated to me from the outside. I could be completely wrong. Let me see if I'm able to, owner, interesting. Funny. I know that the MLS got a cyber attack, so that could well be, but because they pulled the info from the MLS. But anyways, you see how this one is super close, and then this one, oh, you know what? This 370, that's us on that one. That's us on that one. So we're gonna go back on this one. Okay, so 585,000, you know, for that one, which is the Quail Run. And let's see what a description says. It says, welcome, this moving ready, light and bright, Santa Rosa Beauty Bows, you know, wood floors, granite counters, newer windows and roof, clear Section A1 PES, 12 ceilings, you know, blah, blah. Okay, so it seems that it's actually renovated. So it's what, 5, you know, it says 585, sold for 585, right? So we're gonna go to more comparables here. 3.2, 3, you know, 3.2, 5. This one sold for 556, 1 story, 1,446 square feet. This is smaller. You know, if you notice, this one sold on March 6/20, 3.2, 640, you know, 1644. It seems like it's 1 story, 500, you know, 547, 570. So if you notice, if I was to grab the medium one based on the character, this is a good one. The one on Lamper, 570. This is a good one, 620, but the 620 is at the high end. I will not feel comfortable using that one because it's the highest one. And then this one, it's the closest one, the 585. So what I'm gonna do is 585, 620, and 570. You know, ours, it's identical as this one. This is the closest one. To me, the property, this one, after it's fully renovated and done, nicely done, it's gonna be worth about 585. Now, that's the medium. To me, it's the medium. Let me tell you why it's the medium. Because of what I shared here. This is the lowest. Oops, sorry. That's the lowest. See, this is the lowest. This is the highest. And this is the medium. Because the medium happens to be sold very recent, guess what? I'm gonna, now there's more in depth to this, okay? This is very simplistic. I don't know how many days this was on the market, and let me see if it even tells you here. But if not, this could be something that we could ask a realtor. Hey, can you check me how many days was this property on the market? And if he says, oh, it was only 2 weeks or 1 week, bingo. You know, I know that's my sell-fast ARV. All right? So hopefully that's resonating with you guys and is really making sense. You know, please repeat the guide on the square footage. Well, the guide on the square footage, Ms. Dawn, is really what it is that when you're looking to find the value of the subject property, the property that you're looking to buy, subject meaning the property that you made an offer that you have under contract. The comparables should not exceed more than 20% plus or minus the square footage of the subject. Example, the subject here is this one. This one measures 1,627 square feet. That means the comparable, see, this one is exactly the same replica. It's just the mirror opposite. Exactly layout exact by everything. But guess what? This is smaller, still within range of the 20%. You know, this is smaller, but still very, very close within the range. So anyways, no more than 20% plus or minus from the subject. All right. Now let's get back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back to the rules. All right. So sell fast ARV. That's what you're going to want to be aiming for, especially on a market that it's softening. Now, rule number 2, establish a reasonable renovation budget. Very important, because I see it from the new people. They either way too high, or they're either way too low. And it's really, I mean, on when I mean reasonable, doesn't have to be exact, reasonable renovation budget, but seasoned real estate investors have a very good pulse, especially the ones that are redevelopers, the ones that actually do the renovation process. The wholesalers, usually a lot of wholesalers, you'll find out that they don't know renovation. Because they don't know, they're usually way low. Usually they're extremely optimistic. They're going to come low. I'm fortunate enough that, I wholesale deals, I redevelop deals, and do new development deals as well, which gives me a really strong perspective on the cost of things. Now, things are changing, with the tariffs that is happening right now, the political, changes that are happening, things are becoming a little bit more expensive. So therefore, the seasoned real estate investors actually have a great pulse on the renovation budget. So to put it into perspective, and I'm speaking Bay Area only, I mean, it's going to change on different markets. For instance, Central Valley, Modesto area where I live is way different than the Bay Area. All right. Bay Area, prices are high, labor is high, everything is higher. Central Valley, everything is slightly less, not by much, but it is slightly less. In many other places of the country, they're going to have their own, obviously fluctuations as well. Now, how do I do it? This is the way I do it. In the Bay, if it's a light renovation, and to me, light, it's literally painting, flooring, doing, for instance, fencing, landscaping, doing, light fixtures, doing door, closet doors, front door, rear door, doing like painting the cabinets, doing granite on the cabinets, not changing cabinets, not remodeling the bathrooms, just doing all of what I just said is roughly anywhere from around about $45 to $50 a square foot. Now, don't try to be exact. I'm just giving you a light renovation. Light renovation, you're not going to go in through, through roofs, through window, through changing bathrooms or renovating kitchens, like ripping off the cabinets, putting new cabinets. No, I mean, it's really what the word entails, right? I really have always a blast when people say, oh, it's light renovation, but you got to change roof, windows, HVAC, central heat and air. You got to do, some structural changes to the layout of the property. Then that's no longer a light rehab. That's, to me, more of a heavy rehab. So the way I keep it is I keep it light, light, medium, high. The light, I'm going to use around about $50 a square foot. The medium, I'm going to use around about $75 to $80 a square foot. In the medium, you can include everything I just said, on the light, plus maybe windows, and if it's not windows, maybe a roof, but no windows, and then heavy is everything else except bigger ticket items. The big ticket items to me is structural work, is siding, the entire siding of the property, or foundation work. Structural, all siding, and foundation work. Okay, but other than that, I usually use about $100 $125, anywhere from $115 to $125 a square foot. If it's a heavy, that means you're doing new windows, new roof, HVAC, new flooring. You're doing ripping the kitchen, putting a brand new kitchen, ripping the bathroom, putting a brand new bathroom, rewiring, replumbing. I mean, you're doing everything to it except the bigger ticket items. Once again, this is not a perfect way of doing it, but it's a reasonable way of doing it. And that gives you enough, at least it gives you the ability for you to go ahead and submit the offer. And then once the offer gets accepted, guess what? Then you go in depth and hone your numbers by bringing an actual, a general contractor that will bid out the work. Not one. Don't rely on one bid. You got to bring 5, 6, 7, because otherwise you will never know if you're really what your real, your reasonable numbers are. So it's very important, right? Now, that's rule number 2. Rule number 2 is obviously seasoned real estate investor establishes a reasonable, renovation budget. Every time that I use the 50, 78 to 80 to 125, I've done well. Things will change either up or down, but at least it gives you the entry level point right there. Rule number 3, it's, seasoned investors know their market. You got to know their market. You got to know. Newbies usually, when they don't know how to distinguish from great schools to bad schools, from, days on the market, from pending to active ratio, from, the location of the property. That's one of the things that I usually notice from people that are not true seasoned investors or true seasoned real estate agents. They don't know their market, and not knowing them, puts them into a disadvantage. Knowing your market will allow you to immediately know what is the average home in the market selling for. Knowing your market, you will be able to decipher the following. Okay, write it down. I'm not going to go into it on how to find them because it will put us way above our time. But I'll give you an example. And this is stuff that you could either get from real estate agents, either studying the market, either, go, you name it. We can do obviously more courses about where is it that I get them, but I don't want to go above the time because I know everybody's time is extremely valuable. But at least it gives you, exactly what is it that they look. A seasoned investor, it deciphers in their market, such as what is the average home sales price in that specific market. You first see it at a 50,000 foot view, meaning, okay, the county, grab the county. For instance, if you're going to work in the San Francisco County, okay, what is the average price, the average home selling, or average, the average home sales price for the county, for the city, and for the town? Okay, so that's, average home sales price is an important one. What is the average days on market? How long the property stays from active to pending? How many days is that? Not sold, but from active, from when it went into the MLS to when it went pending. What is the average? I usually do that on half a mile, quarter of a mile, half a mile, and 1 mile. Okay, and then I do, for instance, I'll give you another one. It's pending to active ratio. And that's something that real estate agents can actually help you with. How many properties every 24 hours are going on the market, and how many properties of those are going pending? That will tell you a strong story. If there's a lot of actives and very little pendings, that tells me that the market is going to continue to go and slowing down. It's going to soften and slowing down. If there is very little active and a lot of pending, that's telling me the market is going to go up. See, those are the things that we got to pay attention to. Pending to active ratio saved my shirt from losing $100,000 on a property that we were about to make a mistake. But it was thanks to the pending to active ratio. The way I did it, The way I do it is I grabbed it out of, I do it through, the help of a real estate agent. That real estate friend, every day he has to go to the MLS and basically get those numbers for me. All right, so that's important. Average days on market, pending to active, active to pending ratio, and what is the average home price of that market that you're going to be working on. Okay. What if even on both pending and active? What if Ms. Laurie, I guess I'm not understanding that question. And great question, Ms. Don. Once again, one of the rules, and this is going to be the reason why your numbers may be higher, Ms. Don. Various reasons. Okay. Number one, you may not have a powerful team built yet on the construction side, which could happen. Another thing could be the fact that, now keep in mind, the numbers that I gave you are entry level numbers. They're not exact numbers. So I want you to understand that. But a lot of those numbers come to fruition once you get the offer accepted. You're going to get a general contractor that is going to go out and audit your numbers. And if your numbers are not right, that's when you can adjust and obviously go and move forward. I'll give you an example. In San Francisco, I'm doing a 6-unit building renovation, and I mean, do the numbers. It's a complete gut out just from the inside. This is just the inside, not the outside, but I'm doing brand new everything on 1,150 square feet units, and I'm paying $100,000 per unit. Now, no structural work. Keep in mind, it's complete gut out just from the inside. If you do the math, it's less than $100 a square foot, provided I got a construction team, a construction team that it's already built. Okay, that is one of the other rules that we're going to be talking here soon. So give me a moment here. Okay, what pending and active? Let's say 20% pending. Very close to saying, yeah, great question, Ms. Lurie. When the numbers are even, 20 and 20, that's a healthy market. That to me, that means that what it's telling you is that if 100 properties are hitting the market in that county, and 100 properties within 24-hour span is being absorbed by the market, that means that you have 100% active to pending ratio. What that means is that as soon as the property goes in the market, boom, it's being sucked up. Hits on the market, boom, it's being sucked up. That's a really strong, healthy market. Where you don't want to see is when you're seeing, 30 actives as an example and 5 pending. Every day, 30 actives tomorrow, 30 actives the day after tomorrow, and only 5 pending, 5 pending, 5 pending. That's telling you that the market is not absorbing the properties that are going into the market, right? So hopefully that helps you. Now, we were on the knowing your market, okay? Knowing your market. So rule number 4, ladies and gentlemen, is building strong construction teams. Building strong construction teams. That's the piece, Ms. Dawn, that maybe you may be missing. That's why your numbers usually are higher. They're general contractors. Not all general contractors are created equal, and we know that for sure. Well, a whole lot of them are, but what I mean by this is that they're general contractors that understand the investor, the investor flipping world, or the investor redeveloper world. And then there's general contractors that do not understand it and do not want to work with them, because we're always working on a budget. And I can tell you straight out, there's really reasonable people out there. Give you an example. I'm starting renovation. Well, we started it actually today, a renovation on a San Jose deal. And I priced it out with about 5 different general contractors, licensed general contractors. And one of them, this is a 1,400 square feet home, okay? 1,400 square feet home. This was a recommendation by another person that does work for me, you know, he came in at $176,000, fully renovation, complete got out, even with some structural things, divided by 1,400 square feet, $125 a square foot. Now they're there. You just gotta go through a lot of them, a lot of interviews. You gotta build strong teams. In my case, we got about maybe 5 to 6 different sets of construction teams, and not everybody, you know, in order to get to those, we had to go through hundreds and hundreds of them. So so one of the rules that seasoned investors have, you know, it's that they build strong construction teams. In this case, you know, your numbers, if you're going with retail general contractors, yeah, your numbers are going to look way, way, way different. So hopefully that helps you, right? I'm giving you obviously numbers that are not my bottom numbers. $125 a square foot is not low for a complete renovation like got out, but is not high either. You know, I've seen it higher. 125 is medium range. And as long as I can work with people in the medium range, then most of the time deals will make sense, all right? So hopefully that helps out. Now, building strong teams, construction teams. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have to go through a lot. Like I remember before I found one of my guys, which is Rafael, who's doing my San Francisco project. Quite honestly, I'll be frank and direct. We went through about 300 different contractors. About 70 of them applied, and out of those 70, we probably met about 15 physically in a property, and then out of those 15, only 1 to 2 worked out. In this case, I'm still working with that one. So it is a lot of hard work and dedication, but once you have those teams, you got to take care of them. So, you know, hopefully that helps out on building, you know, building strong teams right there. Number 5, you know, don't chase deals. Let the deals chase you. What do I mean by that? I've submitted today, I've submitted 3 offers today. Actually, let me take that back. Yeah, no, 3 offers, okay? Written offers on bigger deals, you know, on the San Francisco market, $2.5 million, all cash, actually $1.9 million, almost $1.1 million. So do the math, you know. Now, if I do 10 offers written, you know, I'm submitting it. And when I have this conversation with agents, usually they will advise me, like, I'll give you an example. The reason why I mean don't chase the deal is because one of the things that I notice, seasoned investors don't chase deals. We allow the deals to come to us. How do we do that? By doing volumes of evaluations, verbal offers, and written offers. I prefer written offers. Now, if it's with an agent, I prefer written offers. I'm telling you straight out, ladies and gentlemen, what I do. Now, seasoned real estate investors do not chase deals. You will only chase deals when you only have one that you're going after. If you're only going after one, then I know your internal emotions is like, you're almost praying. Like, I hope. And you're praying without faith. It's like, have you seen people like that? They pray with no faith at all. It's like, I hope I get it, but the seller, but you know, but this, but that, but, you know, and the reality is this, you know, go ahead and pray, but pray with faith. But when you pray with faith, not on one deal, make sure you're submitting, you know, 10, 20 offers. It's got to be purely solidly on the numbers. Why is it that you're going to allow the deals to come back? Do you think 100% of all the deals that you get beaten on are going to close every single time by perfection? Do you really think that? No. Not every single deal is going to close. Because not every single deal is going to close, you have an opportunity that if you actually submitted that offer, that you may get it on, you know, on the way back. So just keep that in mind, you know, food for thought, because it's important. All right. Now, rule number six. Rule number six is the 10% after 100% leverage. What is that rule? Well, for the ones that know how I invest, I will not go into deals that at least I will not make, and very rare exceptions. I will only do it when I'm doing either development or I'm going to add substantially value to the property. But if it's a regular fix and flip, or if it's a regular flip, I'll tell you straight flat out, I'm looking for 10% net profit, net after I've leveraged 100% the deal. Let me explain that. If you know the way I invest, I put a hard money loan on my first position, and then I bring a private money lender on a second position. What does that mean? It means I'm just going to make it on a $100,000 deal. On a $100,000 deal, okay, on a $100,000 deal, you know, let's just say that the hard money lender makes me do a 20% down payment. That means the hard money lender is going to do an $80,000 loan. And let's just say the renovation is $50,000. Well, the hard money lender is usually going to lend me $80,000 plus the $50,000. So the hard money lender is going to lend me 80 plus 50, that's $130,000, right? I will then raise or get a private money loan from a person that I know for the difference, for the down payment, the closing cost, operation cost, and management cost, because I got to pay myself while I'm renovating the deal. Those four things. Guess what? For the sake of this conversation, I'm just going to say that's another, you know, $50,000, just to make it very easy. Now I am total $80,000 for the first position, hard money lender, $50,000 for the renovation, and $50,000 from the hard money lender. That's $180,000 basically into the deal. That's how I put my deals together. Keep in mind, the deal after I pay everybody, after I pay closing costs, commissions, holding costs, operational costs, closing cost on the buy, closing cost on the sell, you know, renovation costs. After I pay everything, I'm looking for a 10%. In order to hit that 10%, I know I gotta have around a 20 to 25% gap on the deal. If I don't have 20 to 25% gross profit gap, I know I'm not going to hit my 10% net profit. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's precisely the rules that seasoned real estate investors use on buying properties when flipping that property. Any questions that I can answer before we actually get disconnected? And I think we covered a lot. You know, we covered a ton. So if there's no questions, congratulations for connecting here today. And all I can tell you is join us in our meetups every fourth Thursday of every month. In San Mateo, California, we have a meetup that we conduct where we actually meet physically. You know, join us, starts at 7 p.m. You can go to meetup.com and search under San Mateo meetups on the real estate section, and you'll find buying properties for profit, Bay Area Buying Properties for Profit group. Bay Area Buying Properties for Profit group. Also visit reiprofitvault.com, where for a little bit, you know, for just an overpriced, you know, cup of coffee, you can have some real knowledge, inside knowledge on real estate that we're doing, you know, because we get to record those meetups and we get to upload them there so that you can repeat them and get the golden nuggets from there. All right. So congratulations for every single one that got connected here today. Get to see you next Wednesday at the same time here in the Weekly Real Estate Talk Show with Raul Luna. Thank you. Have a great great evening. Go ahead and crush it.